How can White, a player whose only accolade is the championship title with Leeds United in the 1920 season, be more expensive than Raphael Varane, who is a four-time Champions League winner and World Cup winner? It just doesn't really make any sense.
But I see it better now, 'cause everything you do only says you gotta figure it out.
What's up guys, George Lyons here and welcome back to the Soccernomics YouTube channel and you're watching The Rounds. As usual guys, before we hit off today's episode, just going to let you know to hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you like football content, you like the economics behind football and football finance, then this is the channel for you. So hit that subscribe button and continue watching. The transfer window so far is certainly not failing to impress, as many teams are forking out a lot of money, and so far it seems that centre-backs are in fashion. There's one story in particular at the moment that's dominating the headlines, and that is of course the signings of Manchester United's Raphael Varane and Arsenal's signing of Ben White. But not because of their abilities, but rather their price tags. Manchester United have signed 28-year-old Raphael Varane from Real Madrid for an initial fee of £34 million plus add-ons. This is an absolutely amazing signing by Manchester United as they seek to strengthen their squad to try and win that elusive title against Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea. Eyebrows were certainly raised shortly afterwards when it was announced that Arsenal were signing Ben White, a 23-year-old from Brighton, for £50 million. A brilliant young English centre-back, but £50 million? Really? How can White, a player whose only accolade is the championship title with Leeds United in the 1920 season, be more expensive than Raphael Varane, who is a four-time Champions League winner and World Cup winner? It just doesn't really make any sense. So why did Arsenal pay £50 million for him? Well, we hear the term over and over again, the English player tax, which seems to try and explain why English players seem to be noticeably more expensive than any other foreign player. It's almost as if like they're a more valuable asset than foreign players. Or so it seems. The lack of exports of English players to mainland Europe seems to show the reluctance that foreign teams have when it comes to trying to sign English players, as they're just too expensive. I mean, obviously it doesn't really make any sense. Why would you pay a premium for a player of a particular nationality? But is this English player tax actually a thing? And if it is, does it explain why Arsenal are paying £50 million for a player who hasn't really achieved very much so far? The first clue is looking into the Premier League's homegrown quota. This is a quota that allows only 17 non-homegrown players to be registered for a Premier League club out of a max of 25 players. This does not include players under the age of 21, as clubs can register as many under 21 players as they would like. Now, this does not mean that Premier League clubs need to have 8 English players in their squad of 25. Homegrown has nothing to do with nationality. Instead, a homegrown player is a player who has spent 3 seasons, consecutive or not, registered under the Football Association of England or Wales before the age of 21, or by the end of the season in which he's turned 21. This makes homegrown players a lot more valuable to Premier League clubs, as this allows them to increase their squad depth. Arsenal currently have 17 non-homegrown players over age in their squad, which is the registration limit. However, Arsenal only had 7 homegrown players. That is Hector Bellerin, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Joe Willock. And Ben White is a magic number 8 that completes that 25 players. The problem for Arsenal is a considerable portion of these homegrown players could be leaving the club potentially in this window, with the likes of Hector Bellerin, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson and Joe Willock all linked to leave the club. So it's absolutely vital that the Gunners replenish these homegrown spots, especially in a season like the Premier League where squad depth is huge when it comes to trying to achieve some success, especially when they're trying to achieve top 4. Arsenal do also have a very impressive lineup of under 21 players, with Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Gabriel Martinelli, William Saliba and Florian Balogun, who are all going to be registered as homegrown once they turn 22 years old. This makes sense as to why Ben White, a young, proven, gifted English centre-back, was such a must-sign for Arsenal, and why keeping players like Emil Smith-Rowe was such a priority for the club. This still doesn't explain why Ben White was so much more expensive than Raphael Varane. Well, I mean, this is mainly down to the fact that although Ben White and Raphael Varane are both centre-backs, and both very good centre-backs at that, they are completely different players and they bring completely different things to the team. I don't know why I just said things. Yes, Varane has proven to be a world-class centre-back and winning everything there is in football with the best teams in the world. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but Ben White possesses a particularly unique ability to be able to break lines, not only with his passing, but also with his ball carry, which is something that very much suits Arteta's style of players. They like to try and build attacks from defense. He is as much a chance creator as he is a defender, which is obviously a valuable asset to have because honestly, most defenders aren't exactly proficient in both areas. He isn't a defender that's necessarily great when it comes to interceptions and ball recoveries, unlike Raphael Varane, for example. However, what he does is he disrupts the attacks of opposition with his defensive positioning, which is obviously hugely important, especially for Arteta, as he's looking for a player he can trust when it comes to increasing his defense's discipline. White is also an extremely versatile player, capable of playing in a back four or a back three in a right-sided centre-back. He can also play as a right-back and can also play as a defensive midfielder as well. Being English doesn't necessarily mean you're adding on 10, 20 million pounds to your price tag, although it very much seems that way. But how many 23-year-old English centre-backs are there that are at a level that can already improve at Arsenal, with the ball-playing capabilities and experiences that Arteta can trust play his philosophy? Obviously, not many. The supply is low, and in reality, the demand for Ben White is very high. For Arsenal, for them to be able to improve as a team, there really isn't a price tag that they can put on Ben White. This was always going to happen. Well, there you are, guys. That's my interpretation of why Ben White is obviously so much more expensive than Raphael Varane. There's obviously a lot of other factors playing into it as well, such as age. Ben White is a lot younger than Raphael Varane. Varane is 28, although he's in his prime, and centre backs can be around for a lot longer. You see Chiellini and Bonucci absolutely dominating still in their late 30s. However, Ben White is 23 and has a lot left in his career. But apart from that, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for watching. Like this video if you did enjoy. Be sure to comment with your feedback if you've got any ideas. And also, if you have not subscribed and you like this sort of content, I obviously encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button. Apart from that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.
Being a stranger to what we lost, I'll keep my guard down and hope it comes back around, cause I still just feel like I'm gonna keep running.